Understanding geometry nodes. What can we do with geometry nodes? In the first part of the Matrix, Neo was able to stop the flying bullets at the end of the movie, because Neo understood the Matrix world. To figure out what we can do with geometry nodes, it's important to understand the world of geometry nodes first. In this video, I'm trying to make a cube in a slightly different way to broaden that understanding. The reason for this attempt is to explore the possibility of a modeling method using geometry nodes. This is because, most fundamentally, it is necessary to be able to freely add edges to the base mesh for modeling. First, let's look at some possibilities with the default cube. We can create additional faces by adding a subdivide mesh node to this default cube. But instead of subdivide as a whole like this, like the loop cut and slide function, it would be much more useful if we could add a loop cut or edge ring on only one side. However, I cannot find an option to apply loop cut in the mesh menu of the current version of Blender. After thinking about it for a long time, I remembered that we can freely transform curves and meshes in the geometry node. If I approached it in a way to make a cube with curves, I thought I could implement a loop cut. Because curve has a resample curve node that can freely adjust the vertices. Let's first look at how to make a cube with curves. Here's how to make a cylinder with curves. After adding a curve line and adding a curve to mesh node, if we connect a curve circle to the profile curve socket, we can make a cylinder shape. If we set the profile curve to another line with a different direction instead of a circle, a single plane can be created. After adding another curve line and using the created plane as a profile curve, we can create a cube. The node responsible for the loop cut function is the resample curve node. Add a resample curve node. Now, through the count number of the resample curve node, you can freely adjust the number of edges in each direction. The downside of this method is that the top face is left open when an edge is added to the top face. However, through this approach, if we understand and use geometry nodes well, we can see that everything that can be expressed in Blender can be implemented.